Hello and welcome to Sydney Harbour for the 8th heat of the Australian 18-foot Skiff Championship, and a happy Valentine's Day to all our viewers and those that are not viewing. They're the unlucky ones, and the lucky ones are watching this live stream brought to you by Sail Media from quite windy Sydney Harbour, a southerly breeze, a lot of cloud about, and I think we're in for another exciting day. This is the second last heat of the titles. It's a very close battle at the top of the leaderboard between Tech 2 and Smeg, but a bit more of that a little later. I'm Peter Shipway, along with Andrew Buckland and James Bury. We'll be bringing this live stream to you this afternoon. And we're watching at the moment, we're about a quarter of an hour away, 15 minutes away from the start. And we'll say good afternoon to Andrew Buckland, and tell us about what you're seeing in the weather, Andrew, and what you're expecting throughout this long course race today.
Yeah, Pete, thanks for that. Fairly solid, southerly gradient, pretty powerful low pressure cell in the East Tasman Sea, high pressure cell in the Bight, and trough that's gone through, but it's expected to actually intensify over the next 24 hours. So perhaps signs of building breeze today, about 170 average, but looking upwind from where we are at the start line, might be even around to 190, perhaps 200 on the hard right, and perhaps 155 or something in the hard left. Pretty volatile, and the strength probably 12 to 22, and for this course, the bottom mark being an obelisk, quite a bit more wind down towards the bottom. And for viewers who've watched this previously, we've seen some pretty spectacular stuff in the omnipresent head sea down towards that mark, with two difficult jibes in the last, well, say half a mile into the mark. Tough stuff, but good stuff.
Yes, it's been a graveyard down there, no doubt about that over the years, and maybe today will be no different. But James, we'll bring you in now, and we've really seen a race in two at the top of the leaderboard, as I mentioned earlier, between Tech 2 and Smeg. What are you expecting today? Much different?
I don't expect much different at all out of those two. The only one who I know has been doing a little bit of extra homework has been Noakes Sailing, Sean Langman, so we may see him give him a little stir up, just whether his knees can hang on for that long run down to Obelisk. And yeah, if we can get around that corner, I think we may have a race of three there, definitely.
And Sean is in a good contest for third, Pete, with Finport at this present stage, yep?
Yes, that's right. With at the moment, as I mentioned, we've got one more heat next week. It's another long course race, but we've had 7 races so far, and it's tight between Smeg and Tech 2. With a drop, you're allowed to drop one race, but at the moment with a drop, Tech 2's leading on 10 points, Smeg's on 11, then Noakes a fair way back in third on 26 and Finport on 28. But it'll really, the point score will really come into play after today's race. I think we'll have a pretty clear indication. But at the moment, I think the defending champion, Tech 2 and Smeg, will probably fight it out for first and second. But we're up in just in Athol Bight, just to the west of Bradley's Head, for those that know Sydney Harbour. The breeze up and down, Andrew, isn't it? There's a few little puffs coming through at probably 18 knots, and then down pressure's lucky to be, 10 or 12.
Yeah, no, and it's fairly characteristic of this end of the harbour, and with the water temperature a bit elevated, the boundary layer is pretty thick, but more solid down the bottom. So, and a long beat, tide going out. Premium today on two things, going upwind, and it looks like there might be a bit of two-sail reaching in the track as well.
Well, today's race sponsor is the Rag and Famish Hotel, Pete Calligris. He's been a great supporter of the 18-foot skiffs over the years, and he's got the Rag and Famish out again today with Anthony Young steering that boat. I'd like to say hello to a lot of our viewers that are watching this live stream around the world. Friends in England, America, Finland. It was minus 20 there yesterday in Finland. So hello to you people there if you're up and watching. I no doubt have your heaters on. And a bit more, I'd say. And we'd like to say hello to the Sandringham Sailor, who's been a great supporter of this live streaming over the years. So a big hello and a shout out to you. And I hope you're going to enjoy what should be a really good contest. It's a really good course, this southerly course. It's a long course. It'll really test out the boats today. And here at the start, the breeze is back up. We're seeing a few more puffs come down the race course, but generally it's down pressure right at the moment. We're probably about, 8 or 10 minutes away from the start. The sky clearing away to the south and southeast. Andrew, what do you make of that?
Well, Pete, as you would have observed, there's little bits of cold air marked by grey clouds, and they bring wind with them, and we're looking upwind. We can see that for the next probably 20 minutes we've got no cold air, and then a bit after that it looks like there might be some more cold air. So that will coincide with the fleet probably being down towards the bottom of the racetrack. So it might be good fun. And
we didn't find out what the water temperature is 100 miles off the coast. Andrew, have we got an update there today?
Yeah, 24.
24. Okay, that's good. So if you're out there, I hope you're enjoying the swim. So we're looking at the flag on Bradley's head, the Australian flag. It's the
Navy flag, Navy ensign, is it not, Peter?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the white ensign. It's in a southerly direction. Not that much pressure. And there's the starting boat we've got on screen at the moment. And let's talk about some of the boats out there, Andrew, that might have a few different crews today.
Well, I think winning group, most of the crews at full strength, as you'd probably expect. Winning group, Joel Turner subbing in on the main sheet for Sevi Jarvan, and Joel from a 49er and 29er background. Yvette Heritage back on the stick from Noakes Blue, recovered from a concussion injury, and the Bird and Bear with Alex Goff and Lucas Chapman steering and main sheet respectively, with Johnny Wilton in the bow, so a bit of a new lineup for the Bird and Bear. Apart from that, everybody pretty much full stick, I think.
As per program.
Yep. So, Jimmy, we should, you've got to pick two boats, except for Smeg. Who's going to come third? That's really the question, in a sense, for today, I rather suspect, isn't it?
Well, I think I've showed my hand a bit earlier, Bucko, and going with Shawnee on Noakes Sailing.
Yeah, okay. So you haven't elevated your old mate Keegan York and so forth on the.
Well, you said I can have one, so
I'll
stick
two.
with my gun. All right, well then, and Finport then.
Okay, all right.
I need him next week.
Another possibility, Pete. What do you think? The Oak Four Pines could have a good day.
Yeah, he was impressive last week. He won that heat, but the boat I've liked the last couple of weeks has been Shore and Partners. On their little rig last week in the second race, they were pretty impressive. They sailed a pretty good race, so I think they'll be there or thereabouts today. And
yeah, Pete, I don't know if they're fast enough uphill. With the tide ebb, and it's a long beat back from Obelisk. They might be just a bit light in the crew weight, James, you think?
Yeah, very much so. And the other one, if I could have a look at another one, is the Rag and Famish. Have a look at the lineup on that boat. There's a little bit of experience there with Jackie Young, Matty Pearce and Dan Phillips.
Yeah. So Matty Pearce's first gallop in some time last
week, the half of Matt Pearce. He's lost
right.
that much weight, you wouldn't recognise him.
No, but he said that the wiring was working okay, but the heart valve was struggling a bit. So that's about all you need to know, probably. Bit more pressure coming down here now, Pete, on the face of just a pulse with some low cloud.
Okay, they're the signals. 5 minutes to go. Eighth heat of the Australian Championship for the 18-foot skiffs. This live stream brought to you by Sail Media. I'm Peter Shipway, with me Andrew Buckland and James Bury. And we're under 5 minutes to go for the start. We're in Athelbite. Breeze is patchy. There's a good puff coming down the race course at the moment, right across the starting line. But to the right, which is probably the favoured way to go, it's fairly soft. But right up in Rushcutters Bay towards Garden Island, there's a lot of right-hand pressure. So you would think, Andrew, that the fleet would probably punch to the right, wouldn't it? Get on port pretty quickly.
Yeah, but it's easy to say and sometimes pretty hard to do, in fact.
Exactly.
It's you've got to spend a bit of energy and try and start up at the committee boat end so you're free to go out into the ebb tide and to the right-hand side of the track And you know, we sailed the old 18 yesterday on this track, and there was 50 degrees difference between high right and high left. And it doesn't look too much different today, in fact. So it'll be pretty interesting.
That makes things tricky if it's a 50-degree shifts, but that's a lot of shifts, but shifty wind. But we will see. You think, as always, the cream will rise to the top. We're just on Yandu there. John Winnie, who's been consistently up there in the first half dozen placings, and the race sponsor, Rag and Famish, just to leeward of him. Jack Young. There's the committee boat. What do you think of the starting line, boys? It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really good, actually. Probably one of the better ones this year.
Yeah, good length and good angle.
Just looking at Tech 2, who came across on port. It looks down at the pin end. It looked very high on port.
Well, the breeze at high left right now, Pete, isn't it?
It is.
It's at least 25 degrees left of what it was here 20 minutes ago. So
you'll see at the moment a stack up, you would think, at the port end.
Yep.
A couple of blokes have just had a look at it on port, just running back now. There's Tech 2,
and a good bit of wind too, just quietly.
Champion. Yeah, this is good pressure here. This is 15, 18 plus knots.
They're just talking on the committee radio, guys, about if they don't get away clear, they're going to drag that mark quite some distance.
I think that's eminently sensible. I would think at the moment there'd be a stack up down at the pin end, but there's Tech 2 and Smeg, the two boats that have really fought it out in this championship. They're first and second respectively on the point score, but today will be a real telling crunch day. And we've got about
just 2 minutes, Pete, inside 2.
1:52.
Yeah, just inside 2. Tech 2 coming to the committee boat end. And you'd expect them to actually start pretty conservatively, Pete. Smeg, less so, not quite so much, shall we say, in typical terms.
Yeah, it's going to be.
So that's 1:30.
They'll be getting onto port as quick as you can, I would think. You won't be doing much on starboard because you'll be struggling to cross that line the way the breeze has gone left. Just coming up to 1:15. Heat 8, the Australian 18-foot skiff titles.
Smeg working hard for the pin. Finport mid-line. Tech 2 sheeted on already.
Okay, 1 minute.
And they won't lay with that.
No. Yandu and Smeg and Winning Group down at the pin end. Smeg is...
Smeg on port, which looks a bit dangerous at this stage.
Earlier on.
And he's across the line at the moment. Got back on the right side now.
A good puff here at the start.
Tech 2.
It's a really good puff. Smeg looks to be over from where we're looking. Really good pressure here. Probably 16, 17 knots.
Well, and Smeg's being held up, are they not, Pete?
Yes, I think they are. 13 seconds to go. Everyone down that pin end, 10 seconds. Yandu trying to get across on port. You've got to take a lot of sterns down there. Oh, this is going to be...
Smeg's over.
No, General recall.
We'll stay right where we are.
And it was inevitable, really. The breeze had gone so far left that you couldn't cross the line on starboard.
Tech 2's in the tide up there.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not terminal for them. So it looks like they're tied up with Noakes Blue up there.
Yeah, there looked a bit of a collision up there, but really good pressure here.
Yeah, so Pete, that lull we talked about, it's gone.
Yes, yeah.
Gone.
And it's gone left with pressure.
Yep. So that's a little bit surprising, but just driven by the local cloud formations to some degree. So what flag will they put up, Jimmy?
Well, the discussion last week was that they're going to go normal.
Yeah, and then black flag.
then the eye, then the black.
Oh, okay.
They're
He can't have 4 general recalls, or 3 general recalls, James, can he?
Well, the fleet, I don't know whether they've realised it, General, they're all powering away upwind. And they're moving the pin now, they're dropping it right back. Tech 2 just getting going again after his capsize at the first start.
surprised that was the only sort of carnage down there. Like, it was inevitable, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the support boats are going to inform them verbally, I think, here, Pete, up the track there.
Another boat capsized. That's Smeg that's capsized up there.
No,
Another red
Smeg's
boat.
over here,
Smeg's
so
a red boat.
got to
Who's
be
that?
Noakes.
Noakes sailing.
Yeah.
So,
Just cooling off before the real one.
just recapping, a general recall at the first go to get them away. The breeze had shifted quite significantly with about 4 minutes to go, and it's way in the left. If you look at that yacht off Bradley's there,
Yeah.
he's very high in port. There's Noakes sailing, just getting themselves sorted out and getting vertical again. Good breeze. You can see the white caps on the water. There's Smeg powering away. He's pulled away and coming back towards the start.
Tech 2 up and going again after their swim, so they're looking like they're at full noise.
Kitchen Maker running back. You can see it's a lot of wind.
Yeah, that's sort of 18, probably roughly, and high left at the moment. Tech 2 bearing away, so all is well on that boat by the look of it. Smeg also coming back down, the whole fleet now coming back down. Some of them quite a long way up window, so I think we must be...
Well, they still haven't moved that markers yet.
No.
The start mark. Oh, because Doug's had to run up and tap him on the shoulder.
Yep.
Yes, the mark laying boat has chased the fleet to herd them back, and he'll come back and move the pin, drop it right back.
Doug and the team do a bloody awesome job each week trying to wrangle all these blokes around, don't they?
Yeah, it's a thankless task, no doubt about that, and they've got to be congratulated for the job they do. Invariably, they lay good starting lines, good courses, and no one grumbles. So if you
See what happened there? I put the commentator's curse on the start line, and we both said that
That's
it was
right.
a really good start line,
No,
and the
that's
curse has
right.
come back to get us.
That's right.
It's back. Back for 21.
It's the Royal Oak in screen. He won a heat last week.
Moving that pin back 40 metres.
And the breeze will probably switch back to the right. Now, it
Yes.
doesn't look like it's going to, though, looking up, but...
There's the Sydney skyline and the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge for our overseas viewers. If you haven't been to Sydney before, that's a special sight. And it's a rather coolish day and getting towards the end of summer. Got a few weeks left. Got a heat next week, and then we move into, I think, one race before the JJ Giltons get underway in early March.
Now, Pete, I was thinking about our friends in Finland.
Yeah.
You said -20. I think that's a normal winter's day, mate.
Yeah, it's a nice winter's day.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing a bit of ice boat sailing.
Yeah. Now, I spent a little time there mucking around with, rail locomotives and things, and for the Finnish, their operating requirements for rail locomotives, they have to be able to operate temperatures down to -50. Slightly different to Australia, where we have to be able to operate up to +50. It's an interesting problem, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's you have to be used to the cold over there, or else you'd bail out pretty quickly. Okay, we're just hovering around the start line, reminding you it's in Athol Bight. They're moving the pin or the port end of the starting line, dropping it back because the breeze had shifted quite significantly just as we're into the starting sequence. Breeze still up, looking to the right-hand side of the course, not quite as windy, but coming into the starting area, it's still, you know, 15, 16, 17 knots perhaps.
Yeah, and a little cloud just, or a big but not super cold cloud overhead. A little bit more pressure with that as well.
There's Noakes Blue. If that
I think
Heritage.
they're trying to get a new tiller extension. Yeah, Yvette's got a broken port tiller extension there, so obviously from the collision at the pre-start.
Not on screen trips. The appliance online in the tide of fairway upwind as well.
Noakes Blue doing a bit of to and froing, and there's appliances online in the way in the distance. That's Clark Island in the background. And we'll see Noakes Blue
That got pretty dangerous.
into vision shortly, a little bit wobbly.
It's good to see Yvette back out.
Yep.
Guys.
Yep.
So what she's trying to do is get to the committee boat, which has got a spare tiller extension, and to replace the one that they damaged, as Jimmy said, probably in that collision at the start with Tech 2, or an incident with Tech 2. They looked as though they were pretty close together. Whether they collided or not, we don't know for sure, but she's now in irons going backwards. It's difficult to get up to the committee boat to get the new tiller extension. She's going to have another go at it. She'll come into vision shortly.
Well, normally if Doug's not running around moving marks around, that's what he'd go and pick it up and go from there.
No, she's not going to get it at this go, I don't think. Oh, close.
Oh, he's going to throw it.
Throw.
Brave man.
Good catch, and near capsize. No.
Oh, yes. Here they go. Here they go.
Here's your chance to put it on.
No.
Oh, never in doubt. Well, was it really?
Oh,
They'll be worn out before the start.
fabulous action from Yvette and Rory Cox and James Turner, but they'll hopefully replace that tiller extension and they'll be underway. So what are we seeing, Andrew? Breeze down again.
Down and back to the right.
Back to the right. Oh dear.
Move the mark back.
The mark has moved, as Jimmy said, a good 40 or 50 metres back from where it was for the first start.
So now we'll see a rack up at the committee boat end, mate. He'll be right. So yeah, so the breeze sort of back a bit more to what it has been all morning. Looking upwind, you know, resumption of cloudiness to some degree. Cloud over the land, a little bit of convection. Committee's taking a long time, Pete.
Yes, I still think they're moving that mark. The mark laying boat's still there. No, they've just left the mark laying boat's just left the pin, so I think we'll be underway shortly.
It's a big 40 metres, Jones.
Yeah.
Look, now they're moving it back up. See?
Well,
They'll get the 40 metres right in a minute.
It was more like 100 metres. Oh well.
Well, they wanted to see if it had settled. The other thing of note too is Bucko and Pete, is appliances online are still in the tide up there near Clark Island, which never a good sign. This long without a spinnaker up generally means there's something terminal going on.
There's another boat capsized off Bradley's Head. I don't know quite who that is, but there's a rescue boat with him. There's the...
Is that the Rag and Famish?
We're just watching the race officer, Doug Cameron, dropping the pin, so they still haven't settled on where the pin should be. They've just dropped it now. There's Tech 2 going across in front of us and between us and the committee boat. The winning group tacking at the stern of the committee boat. And two boats are still capsized, which, as Jimmy said, is not a great sign, because normally they can get them up pretty quickly and get back to the starting area, but both are still horizontal.
Yeah, Appliance Online did some mast damage through the week, and they were a little scrambled, I think, to get back on the water today, so they might have some issues associated with that. Yeah, Mr. Chittenden just informs me, yeah, they broke a strop on them, so the mast fell down. Yep. On Thursday night, so not too long ago. So the committee not far off signals.
Got it all going on here.
Unusual.
So we're in a waiting game for the race to get underway. We've already had one general recall, and there's the race officer Doug Cameron just going alongside Rippleside, the committee vessel. Not sure exactly what's going on, but we're still on delay.
Not anymore, Pete.
Not anymore.
1 minute to the 5 minute.
Still two boats will be struggling, well, are still capsized, and I would think Appliances Online's day is probably over. It's unfortunate for Simon Nern and his crew.
Yeah, Kurt Faturis in the bow of that today. Big, strong lad. Looks like they've got some terminal equipment issues.
Yeah, can only see one bloke on the riding lever, so genuine effort. You'd have all three guys, so they're obviously doing some R&M on board there.
Well, either they were trying to take the mainsail down, James.
Yeah.
It's a time-honoured system.
Same on, I believe it's, they're taking the mainsail off the rag over here just to weather of the start line. So, a bit unfortunate for those boys.
So that is definitely the Rag and Famish, the other boat
Yeah,
out of
mate,
action.
yeah,
Yes.
so
He's right off Bradley's head. He's about, with the mainsail coming down. So his day is over. That's him now. You can see the mainsail in the rescue boat along just to weather of him. So it's bad luck for the race sponsors as Rag and Famish, as their boat is out of action today now. So two boats will not make the start, the second start. 4.5 minutes to go for.
And the other one for the viewers at home is Bird and Bear directly behind the camera cat. They're way down in Athelbite, but I don't think they'll make the start either. They're upside down, waving for attention.
Yes, you don't like to see that. It's unfortunate for them. So there's the committee boat, just coming up to 4 minutes. There we go, 4 minutes now. This will be the second start.
No I flag, no nothing, mate.
No.
So what do we see of the breeze, Andrew?
Well, back to sort of regulation, a little softer, perhaps down below 16. Compass wind about 160, I would say, where we are right now.
And how do we like this line at the moment?
We like the first one, Pete.
Yes. Go on, you've got 3 minutes 20 to work it out, Andrew. Which end you want me to be at?
Well, I think we're starting at the boat and tacking, Pete. There you go.
So getting right quickly.
Yep.
It is good, even, looks even.
No, it looks pretty
now.
even up. Yeah, it does look even across the course, doesn't it? No doubt it will change by start time, though, you know.
Yeah. Coming up to 3 minutes now. Just see the pin just out off screen. It's just to the right of the bow of the committee vessel. Just go right there. It is there. That checkered flag around the yellow buoy. That is the pin end or the port end of the starting line. A few spectator boats gathered down at that end to watch. It's a long course, the southerly course. The first leg is up into the weather mark in Double Bay, then a long run down to the graveyard at Obelisk.
About 2.2 miles, so the longest leg of any course sailed by the 18s in Sydney.
I was speaking to one of the new forward hands in the 18s this year, young Felix, on the bow of Birkenhead. I said, "Oh, how are you feeling? Do you have your wheat picks this morning?" He goes, "I'm nervous, very nervous about this one." I said, "Well, once you've done one of these, that's when you get your stripe, that you're part of the team."
That's right. Okay, so just inside 2 minutes. Fleet looking pretty conservative this time, Pete.
Yes.
And
145.
Mostly racked up out to starboard of the committee boat looking upwind. Smeg, though, persevering with towards the pin.
Winning group, John Winning Jr., Joel Turner and Sam Newton. Sevi Jarvan, the regular sheet hand, is still out with injury. And Joel Turner comes in to take his place.
He's a big lad, Joel, isn't he?
Very handy replacement. I think he's part of the AST.
Yep.
For the 49ers.
Yep. Oh, and the Ilvy just
Ilvy.
ate it on a bear away.
Coming up to 1 minute. We've got starting to stack up now. There's the minute. Okay.
Smeg coming back from the other end.
Down pressure generally across the racecourse. Probably 12, 14. A little puff coming down, which will hit them right at start time. And around Bradley's head comes the Manly Ferry. Will this come into play? We've got
no, he'll be gone, Pete, I think.
35
just
seconds.
He'll be okay. He'll be gone.
Oh, will he? Okay.
Yeah.
Just the big wind shadow left behind.
There might be a little tiny problem, but
25 seconds.
well, they can figure it out.
Let's creep forward here for you blokes.
Right.
Fleet all on starboard, and
The Birkenhead point.
Birkenhead point diving away. He's going to be late. Got 10 seconds.
Got to get a dial up done, boys.
Oh, Smeg's close to being over down there.
Smeg and Tech 2 at the pin. They're over again.
Gee. One. No. General again. General recall for the second time. Down at that pin end. The majority of the fleet were left. And so they're going to move the pin again, I think.
Move the boat.
I'm going to move the boat now because the pin's a bit locked in where they are. Getting close to a few...
We're getting close to the island.
The island, which
bar.
is a fun bar that's permanently moored in the harbour. A few Valentine kisses out there this afternoon, I think, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Don't look at me.
Or me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, the ferry would have just been across.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have affected them. They've sailed upwind and it's just a little bit of dirty air, but nothing too severe.
Okay, so the committee boat is on the move. The anchor's coming up and the fleet just having a look at their angles going upwind, but majority are now starting to roll back. Andu, in a bit of a squall there. Andu and Yandu. Yandu with the red and blue oval. Andu with the name clearly on the sail. So they looked as though they were wanting to go left that time, I think, Andrew.
Surprise to me.
So a second general. So what flags are we going to have this time?
You'd presume that
Aye.
in accordance with the discussion that they will go to the round the ends flag. And the committee's sort of taking some of the blame, I think, about for the first one, Pete. So, but that one, I mean, they were, you know, Smeg was gone with 10 seconds to go, weren't they, really?
Yeah, there's a few of them over down there.
So why they rejig this line, Doug's just going to, like, because obviously they're moving the committee boat, Doug's just going to shoot up and just let the guys know on applying this online for the guys at home. Just going to shoot up and let them know that they're keeping an eye on them and just make sure there's nothing critical issues on board that
Excellent.
they can't hold out.
Yes, we can see them in the distance, still capsized, and there's a boat going towards them now that may render assistance should they need it, but you'd think that they perhaps may need it because they've been capsized for some time. Okay, so time marches on and we still have not got a race underway.
Not liking where they're moving this committee boat right into the bear-away zone of the 12-footers.
Yeah, these are 12-foot skiffs now, going to power downwind towards us on the camera cat and the start vessel for the 18-footers.
12-footers are on the world's shortest course axis there, aren't they?
Are they what? That's a sprint race and a half, isn't it?
Yep. Wow, good stuff though.
500 metre work, not even.
Yep, Bird and Bear indeed in the tide. At the
That's
other
a
end
whole
of the
new
line.
crew, isn't it, on there, on Bird and Bear, except
Wow.
for Johnny Walton.
With Johnny W.
So a reminder, we're on the southerly course, so while we're hovering around here, why don't we have a look at the points, which are a little bit meaningless at this stage, but at the moment, including a drop, you're allowed to drop your worst performance. The breeze is up again as the committee boat's still moving upwind. We've got Tech 2 leading on 10 points, Smeg on 11, Noakes on 26, that's Noakes Sailing, Finport 28, Shaw and Partners 31, Winning Group 36, Yandu 38, Andu equal with him on 38, and the Royal Oak Four Pines on 51.
And there's our title sponsor on screen, the Winning Group.
Yeah. So they've been a bit inconsistent. I think he's been a bit worried. Young Johnny's been a bit worried about his speed. So they've been trying to do a bit of work midweek on sorting a few issues out. But you wouldn't discount them today. I think they'll be strong. So they've moved this committee boat a long way up from where they were. They've moved 50, 60, nearly 100 metres upwind. They've left the pin where it is, I think, have they? Yes, they have. Yeah.
At the moment, they'll have to move that as well, I think. Oh, yeah, they will have to.
You think it's just the inherent issue of down here in Athelbite when you get that close to the shore over there, Bucko, with the breeze swinging so much around that headland, or?
Well, you know, they got a bit hemmed in by the 12-footer course. Yeah, I thought the line was okay, but...
just a few jumpers.
Yep.
Noakes Blue in the foreground. Just
New tiller extension.
utility extension. They look set to go, which is good news. Tech 2.
Long day now for the cruise, Pete.
Yes, it is.
Long day for us.
Oh, yeah.
Tech 2, Jack McCartney, Charlie White and Lewis Brake. They've done a pretty good job in this series so far. They've been consistent with their placings. They've had a first, a third, a second, a fourth, a fifth and a first. So that's pretty good going. Only matched really by Smeg with 3 seconds, 2 firsts and 2 thirds. So the PRO, the Principal Race Officer, Doug Cameron, talking to the committee vessel. Just trying to get the line as good as they
Clients
can.
on line have a broken rudder.
Aha. So now we know. Lines is online with a broken rudder, so
No further part today.
their day
Simon?
is well and truly over. There's Smeg, Michael Coxon, Ricky Bridge and Trent Barnabas.
And he's not going to move the pin.
So they're going an I flag, and Doug's instructions to the start boat then was if that doesn't work, whack the black one up.
Yeah.
Okay, talk us through the I flag, Andrew.
What does it say these days, Peter? If you are across the line in the triangle formed by the 2 ends of the line of the windward mark in the last minute, you have to go around the ends.
Very good. No Google assist.
You've been
That's
doing
right.
your homework. That's good. I like that.
No. I reread the whole section, Peter, after you gave me a bagging the other week, okay?
No,
And then they went and got rid of that flag.
That's right.
They've canned it. They've taken it off Ripple side, never to be seen again.
That's right. Caused too much confusion, not only to us.
Now there's a mega pleasure craft going down western side of Bradley's Head, the navy blue powerboat. Hopefully the skipper knows what he's doing. Normally just plough across the start line, but he looks as though he's been well behaved.
Very calm.
Going to lure it at the start line. There's the winning group.
That's a bit like our new boat's going to look, Pete, isn't it?
I hope so.
That's right.
Bit disappointed.
Sort of the right colours.
Yeah. All right. Must be coming to signals, I think. Yep. Let's try this again, shall we, mate? And one of the reasons I had to move the line was because 12-footer race immediately to the west of that course, windward mark for the 12-footers laid.
There's a consistent Noakes sailing. Sean Langman been out doing a bit of training this week, he tells me.
Yeah.
Ed Powies and Josh Probeski, the crew. Cheerios to Ed's dad, David, if he's watching from southern England. Believe he's not too warm either. Over there, but we do wish everyone well who's watching with this wretched virus that seems to be attacking everyone, and hopefully it's getting better, but it doesn't appear to be certainly in Europe and America. But anyway, we're back on a Sydney Harbour that has got a southerly breeze with just under 5 minutes to go. Andrew, what are we looking like? The breeze down a little, isn't it? Looking to the right, it's puffy again.
14 knots for 170, Pete. How's that? Happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good first beat, pretty true beat up into Double Bay, the first mark, and then the long run down to Obelisk, which should provide some thrilling sailing. Long Spinnaker run, and then the graveyard that is Obelisk Bay.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've seen some fabulous action down there. Not all of it good.
No, all of it good, Pete.
All of it good for our live stream viewers.
Yeah.
It was pretty hairy coming around there this morning when we brought the boat over. So
Well, the sky's clearing a little and the breeze down. 4 minutes.
well, they haven't flown the I flag that I can see.
Well, we need to go around the back of the boat to see it. So.
It should be up the top of the flag mast, shouldn't it?
Well, no, they set it on the other halyard down low. They give priority to the red flags.
No. I'll see what I can do, Bucko.
Burden Bear with a red bear in the sail. He's up and going. Looking upwind, it's generally down pressure, but heavily in the right on the right-hand side of the course.
Yeah, Breeze probably somewhere around 190 on the
How
hard.
low do they fly this flag?
On the hard right. Well, they haven't got it up, have they?
No, there's no eye flag, so it's just a normal
let's
start
go.
for the third time.
They're just enjoying the practice, are they?
They've moved the committee boat. So 2:45. Maybe they left the eye flag ashore. Bucko.
No, it's there filled up. You can see it. It's just not unfurled. Anyway.
Reminds me of the story of Bobby Joy in the Century Battery when he was sailing with Ricky Priestley. Ricky was the forward hand man they called Biggles. Went round the weather mark and Bobby Joy said, "Put the big one up, Biggles." Biggles said, "I can't, Bobby." He said, "Why not?" He said, "It's in the park." They left her in the park. So hello to Bobby and Biggles if you're watching. Two great characters of 18-foot skiff sailing from years gone by. So just only 2 minutes to go. So no eye flag.
And the boat's all racked up now towards the boat end. And look at this breeze, Pete.
Oh, there's a good squall coming here. Good right-hand squall.
Wow.
And plenty of wind for everyone here.
The ferry in front of us lost steerage way.
Ferry trying to get upwind.
There's a few hand signals with Robbie, the skipper, just to...
1 minute 30, minute and a half to go for the third start. 2 general recalls.
So the fleet a bit more conservative this time. Breeze up and in the right.
Yeah, so they're all up at this committee boat end.
Tech 2 set up pretty nicely.
Yeah, they're holding back, just coming up to a minute. See that one flag down, one flag left. That's 1 minute to go. Heat 8 of the Australian 18-foot skiff championship. Tech 2 well positioned up to windward here. 45 seconds. And good breeze in the right, really good pressure. Super pressure in the right.
Yep, and more coming. A little 20-knot puff just coming towards the line.
30 seconds.
Be a bit of work going on the rig settings right now, Pete.
Yes.
Have you got that side stay tension right?
Absolutely.
All good.
Never miss a beat here.
20 seconds.
Okay, Andu will be one of the most lured boats where we've got Tech 2. Smeg trying to get into windward. We'll see him there with just Finport ahead of him. 10 seconds.
And we're not quite
Foot
on the
down,
line where
foot
we are.
down. 3, 2, 1, gun. Ooh.
Gee, they push their luck, don't they,
Didn't
Pete?
they? They did. No.
More horns than what they know what to do with.
Yeah, another general. Another general. Oh, the breeze. Oh, God, all action there. Yandu Nelly into windward. He was late, but it's another general recall. 3 general recalls. Breeze looks in the left there off the line, doesn't it?
There was a big squirt and then it lifted off and went left. Amazing. But we did say it might be a bit difficult, didn't we, Pete?
It sure is. Well, difficult for the competitors, difficult for the race committee, difficult for the commentators.
And part of what we saw there, Pete, was enough current that the committee boat was no longer even close to remotely aligned with the wind direction, was it? It was spun around by the ebb tide.
Across the wind, so that gives you some idea of how strong the tide is, because the breeze was quite strong there at the start.
Pete,
So we're going to have a go for the 4th time. I would
Pete.
think the eye flag looks to be getting unravelled here on the committee boat. Ooh,
Very much so.
Jeez, I think I might be...
no.
No, I think we're on the black.
Oh, we're going straight to black.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Straight with the dirty.
Well, this will really hold them back, you would think and hope, which means if you're over with the black flag, your day is over. No hooter, no recall. You just find out at the end of the day that you were over.
And to get reinstated, you have to go into the little room.
It's a new sort of sound signal.
It is.
So I think that's just making the fleet aware that the black flag is up.
Yep.
And even if there is a general recall after this start, if you're black flagged at this start, you can't go into the general recall, into the next start.
Yeah, you can go into the start, but you have to protest to get reinstated.
Yes, correct. Well, yeah. And that's a hard one to win.
Yeah, there's only a couple of precedents of people getting overpowering the black flag. Wow.
So that's the real naughty flag, the black flag. That will hold the fleet back. You're really going to push your luck if you push it hard on this start line with the black flag. So they've had 3 goes. They've moved the pin twice and the committee boat once. And still we can't get them away to a clear start. So the day marches on, but the breeze is still here. I don't think there's any doubt. But looking upwind, we still see poor old Appliances on line in the water. There's no rescue boat with him. We heard he's broken a rudder. Rag and Famish has gone home as well. They've lowered their mainsail and will get a tow home.
Well, the Appliances on line, they've got to get the mainsail off to tow home, Pete. So it can be a bit more difficult than you might think. No halyard on these boats. They're just shackled up, and it's
a big job.
Yeah, you need some underwater skills. Well, the committee would be a bit disappointed with all that. It's...
You can see the rudder there on screen, guys. It's a little bit skew-if.
Yep, slantendicular, as they say.
I'll have to Google that one.
So these boys have been out here almost an hour and we're still no closer to a start. So, as you say, Andrew, on a long southerly course, there'll be some tired boys tonight.
52 minutes we've been trying to get underway.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yep. Peaked early.
So we're in Athol Bight, western side of Bradley's Head, and the first leg will be up into Double Bay. Breeze a little bit softer here now at the starting line. Breeze in the right, but not much coming down to the starting line at the moment. We're still about 5.5 minutes away from a start. Black flag is up. We've had 3 general recalls. So the black flag is really the naughty flag. If you're over at this start, you just keep sailing straight into the clubhouse at Double Bay.
Oh, and hoist your protest flag, Peter.
Oh, Jesus.
Wasn't me, sir. Oh, let's go.
Okay, 5 minutes.
So now the committee's job, of course, is to clearly identify who is not on the right side of the line. But usually the fleet gives respect to the black flag in the form of about a 2 boat length margin in this fleet. Still some spiky bits of wind coming, Pete, though. Look at this one on the bow where we are. A little
gnarly one.
Little right-handed bit of 16, 18.
4.5 to go. Yes, there's good pressure again.
And that's got a bit of stability about it looking upwind, Pete, across the track on the right side, back to what it was an hour ago when we talked about it. 170, maybe even a little right of 170. And probably predominantly, 14 to 16 knots.
So you would hope that all competitors have seen the black flag. They've given plenty of warning with hooters, and it's a big black flag. So it's hard to miss. 3 minutes 40. Southerly course. Breeze hovering between probably 12, 13 knots and up to 18 knots at times, maybe a whisker more, but at the moment we're probably in about a 15 knot, 16 knot puff. Winning group. going across. It's our race officer, Doug Cameron.
Gives us a shake of unapproval.
I think it might be frustrating for competitors and spectators alike, but you get a fair race if the race committee are pulling them back. I mean, that's what the competitors want. They want a fair race. They don't want someone jumping the start and getting away to a break.
Unfair advantage.
Exactly. You want it fair, and got to be sympathetic to the race committee. 2 minutes 25 to go. And looks like we're going to have good breeze to start in.
Yep, a few more puffy little grey clouds, and
A good clear runway to the weather mark at the moment. There's not many cruising punters out there, so we should see a pretty good battle up to this first weather mark at Double Bay between Clark Island and Point Piper, and then the big run down to Obelisk.
fleet lined up with a great deal of conservatism.
Yeah, 1 minute 45 to go. The live stream brought to you by Sail Media today. Andrew Buckland and James Bury with me, Peter Shipway, to bring this race to you.
At least the blokes on the ferry are getting their value for money today.
I think they were getting a bit impatient, James, I detected.
1 minute 25 to go.
So Noakes the leewardmost boat with Smeg.
Okay, the fleet are holding back.
Sure, and
1:10 to go.
Finport, the most windward boat, but furthest right. Tech 2 in the middle of the line, effectively.
Okay, there's 1 minute.
In the stack up.
1 minute for the fourth go at this start. 3 general recalls so far. The black flag flying. It's a real naughty flag. If you're over, your day basically is over. Okay, they're holding back. 45 to go. Who's going to be first to dare? First to put the pedal down. Smeg holding back. 35.
And we've got a pretty good view. We're lined up well with the back of the committee boat and the pin, so we'll be able to tell if anybody infringes.
20 seconds.
Everybody's still just jogging along.
12, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pedal down.
And about time, Pete.
All good.
Hooray, the cheer goes up from the ferry.
A bit of a Bronx cheer from the spectators.
Tech 2 good, Andu good. Kitchen Maker and Finport right at the committee boat. Yandu a bit buried.
Why wouldn't Finport just tack? Doesn't make any sense, does it?
Smeg down to leeward, a little bit buried there. If he gets the... He's got clear air though, Smeg, although he's got Noakes sailing underneath him. Tech 2 looks pretty strong mid-line, Andrew.
Yep, started very, very well.
Okay, a few just starting to bail out, going right.
So Finport the first to bail.
Yeah, then Birkenhead Marina going with
Bird and Bear.
them.
Birkenhead.
And now to sit in the nice calmness, Bucko, and now we're copping the spray.
Yeah. Big fight between Smeg and Noakes up there, Pete.
Yeah, Noakes coming round his bow. He's in a really favoured position. It's hard for Smeg to live there. On Vintech at the moment. He's well back, Vintech. He missed the start by a little. Good pressure rolling down the course here. Noakes doing a good job coming away from Smeg there. Smeg just hanging in there. Shaw and Partners look solid up to the right. He's from the left as we look at it, it's Noakes Sailing, Smeg, Shaw and Partners, and Andu. Still going right out on the to the left on the starboard tack. And there's the tack from Noakes. They'll go behind Shaw and Partners. And they've got to bid the big duck on Andu. And they'll be across Royal Oak. Smeg's tack, but I think in the middle line it will be Tech 2. We'll see come into vision shortly. Smeg going back. Oh, Andu's almost capsized.
They have capsized.
Oh, they have they?
No.
Smeg took their stern. They're all chicken winged up. Poor old Andu. Just getting going now. The Royal Oak doing well with Tech 2. And up to windward, the Kitchen Maker has made a good fist of this. So Smeg and Noakes Sailing going right. Tech 2 just tacking now on the air of Royal Oak. And I think Tech 2 will lead, although he's not in a great lift going back. The boats that have gone out to the right early look okay.
Yeah, Noakes looks better than these guys now.
Absolutely. Tech 2 going back on an absolute horror.
Yep. Finport out of the hard right.
Smeg's in that group that have gone to the right. And Winning Group coming across on starboard. They're strong. Yandu's strong. Finport's strong. There's Yandu, Finport and the Winning Group. And the Bears in there in the mix as well. Tech 2 has come back on an absolute horror, so she's dropped right behind this group.
I think Finport leads. Winning Group certainly in the hunt.
Berman keeps on getting right-handers like that. He's almost on the way.
It's going to be very shifty up in the weather market Double Bay. There's a lot of little puffs. They've got to join a lot of dots up here.
Yeah, no, it's a tough bit of sailing here with the breeze as far right as it is now. Finport needs to put the hammer down and just reach a little bit. If they've got to do 2 more tacks, they've got to do 2 more tacks. But
it's very shifty.
And just a good bit of breeze, though, coming around the corner here, Pete. So I think Finport might lead here.
Noakes has gone hard left now. He's just tacking. He will have dropped back a little, I think. The right paid up that beat.
Where we went, Pete.
Absolutely. Winning Group, possibly he and Finport will be close. Winning Group on a screamer right-hander.
Yeah.
He's not laying, I don't think. He's
no,
just
he's not,
underlay.
He's under, and
Finport will be well over at the moment. If
Finport will lay.
He's got another gust coming to him. Smeg's in the hunt. And Yandu's good. Noakes had to take the stern of Smeg. Smeg coming across to the Winning Group. Winning Group will clear Smeg, and he'll just tack under Finport. Finport's ease sheets. He's on the lay line.
Smashed it.
Smeg's going to be tight on the lay. Finport will roll him in a minute, but he'll get there. I think Smeg will get there. Yeah, he's ease sheets now. Finport leads. Smeg second. Winning Group third, and away they go. The long run to Obelisk. And Yandu fourth.
Noakes fifth. Or close to fifth.
Finport, Smeg, Winning Group, Yandu. Noakes is fifth.
Birkenhead Point Marina.
Birkenhead, another good job by those young boys. They're sixth.
Bird and Bear.
Bird.
Just trying to get around. Shaw and Partners, then the Kitchen Maker, and then Tech 2.
Kitchen Maker. Tech 2 is in 10th position, but he's close enough, I think.
Yep, Royal Oak's next around, Pete.
Oh, Shaw and Partners got a bit on.
Got a bit on saying hello to the boys on Bird and Bear.
Okay, so the pedals down on the Camera Cat and the pedals down on the 18s. They're screaming downwind in good pressure. Finport led, then Smeg, then the Winning Group, and now Yandu. Father chasing son. with Yandu chasing the winning group and the Noakes. So it was a pretty good beat up there, Andrew. A bit for everyone, but I think the right paid.
Yep.
Not that much pressure coming down to the fleet at the moment, but they're fully wicked up. They're clearing Bradley's, that's for sure. There's Noakes sailing. Terrific shot. Crew right stacked aft. See the centreboard at various times. They're leaping over the waves. They've got the two leaders heating up for pressure. Yandu in a screamer, but Noakes, we're on Noakes at the moment. Bradley's head channel marker, Yandu. He's on a screamer, Yandu. He's got right to leeward of the fleet. He's in a good position here. Father passing son here, just to leeward of the winning group. They're very much in touch with the leaders. That's a great shot of Yandu and the winning group. Winning group just getting a little puff. Good breeze coming out of Rose Bay that'll hit the fleet in a couple of minutes. But a nice clear runway looking right down towards Obelisk.
Look who's charging down a million miles an hour behind the boat.
There's a real squall in Double Bay.
Yep, hands full now to get over the point at the end of Chowder. Bird and Bear's in strife. Tech 2 was in a bit of strife earlier too, but they got going again.
Bird and Bear.
On Finport there.
Taking it down.
This is the bit of a heavyweight prize fight at the front here, Pete, isn't it? Smoking breeze now where we are to windward of Finport. About 18 knots. The boat's doing low 20s.
Yeah, they're about 40 metres behind the leader, Smegs. Finport in second. They led narrowly at the weather mark. Oh, they're all in screaming puff now. Finport, Keegan York, Matt Stenter and Phil Marshall doing a fine job. Just see Smeg revelling in this at the moment. Not quite laying George's head in a really good puff. I think they're going to get relief shortly and they'll probably just get round the point. At the moment they're going to have a cup of tea at Clifton Gardens as they right in Chowder Bay.
Big test for the bowman here, probably. Trying to keep the chute roll. Prospect of a drop and a reset to get down into the market Obelisk. Not something you look forward to necessarily. Yeah, so not on screen, but Tech 2 made up. They were about 8th a while ago.
Yeah, they were 10th at the mark. They've made big ground.
Yep.
On potentially in 6th there at the moment, I think. On Finport there.
Clifton Gardens in the background. Smeg leads. Just really hammering towards the shore here in a screaming gust.
Smeg's got a big powerboat coming directly at him, Pete.
Another idiot in this powerboat. You'll see him in a minute. I mean, really and truly.
Yep. So Smeg's going in for the drop now.
Yep. There's a couple of brainless idiots going across the fleet. Smeg drops.
Finport's going to rag it. Brave call.
Very brave, eh, Bucko?
Yep.
Okay.
And through the powerboat wash,
Nice.
and they just ate it.
Oh,
And that's them gone.
Finport gone.
Yep.
Put the bow
Shit.
down.
We're going to get wet here. Hold on, blokes.
I think
Bit of bad luck for Finport.
did they hit the powerboat wake, did they?
That was
Yeah.
a powerboat wash.
Oh, I wasn't watching.
That's like
Dear, oh
the
dear.
waves off that thing are like trying to launch this boat off a surf beach.
Oh, look at Tech 2. He's just come right back into it. He's going to be second now. What a fine job. Look at this. He's absolutely smoking. Jack McCartney and the boys, I think he's going to rag. Noakes sailing in all sorts of trouble. They're into windward. But meanwhile, Smeg has dropped the chute, done a fine job. Smeg, Tech 2's got a bit on as the winning group comes round their bow, just main and jib reaching. Tech 2 trying to flag the chute. It's all on here. Good pressure.
Tech 2's got the job done, actually, Pete.
I think they have, but that was tragic for Finport. Those idiots in the powerboat, it was a graveyard for them, but winning group. Nice here, just round George's head. They'll set again. Speak 2 in the distance of set.
Let's go, Jimmy.
They're screaming down to this graveyard mark. Tech 2 is airborne. Winning group going for the set, but Tech 2 didn't have to drop. They flagged the shoot. You'll see them come round to leeward of the winning group. They've gone into second place. Thrilling racing. Winning group just getting the sheet on now the way they go. So, a lot of wind coming now. The breeze is right up. The good news is my dry suit's leaking, so I'm going to get very wet. I might go below, do you mind? Now, this is all on here. This is the leeward mark just before Middlehead, Obelisk Bay. Tech 2 now about 150 metres behind Smeg. Smeg are laying down into this mark. So it'll be a drop and then round the mark and then upwind, the long beat up into Rose Bay. Tech 2 clean at the moment. Great crew work. Nice early drop. Mark will come into shot shortly. Okay.
And Smeg doing a more conservative drop than usual there.
So got themselves okay. Smeg rounds. Won't be much in it.
20 seconds, Pete. If
Tech 2, well, he's come from 10th to 2nd. Winning group flying in. They're going to be late drop. No, they dropping now. Tech 2, a little late. Spinnaker down. Should be okay.
He'll be right to get the
They're
dial up
right,
done.
yep.
20 seconds, Pete.
Yeah, terrific effort.
That is remarkable, isn't it?
A lot of wind, looking upwind now.
Yep.
Into Rose Bay. Winning group around. They're good. So these 3 now will fight it out, you would think. Yandu will be possibly 4th. Shaw and Partners have got a jibe to come in.
2 jibes, Pete.
Yeah, 2 jibes rather. Yes, absolutely.
Not happy, Jan.
No. And
Noak's done quite a good job.
they did. They really got almost capsized to windward. So they will round in 4th spot. Shaw and Partners coming in on port. Stand by. Shaw and okay, you'll see them jibe.
Sure, Partners down speed. Wow.
Noakes have got a bit on here.
Josh is
Okay.
still trying to put the shoot away.
Okay.
Oh, they got the job done, all
Yeah,
right.
they did.
Not bad at all.
Shore Partners, Noakes,
All
Yandu.
parties.
All good. And it's very windy. Again, very windy.
Yeah.
Yandu did a good job as well. Tidy. Next will be Andu. Then the Royal Oak 4 Pines. Andu round.
Pretty nice rounding from the Yandu boys. And
Royal Oak, then Birkenhead. And there's a few of these tail enders. They've got a bit on here, these tail enders. 2 jibes into the mark. Birkenhead's around.
Lazarus with a hint of an overlay here, Pete.
Oh, what could go wrong here?
Oh, I can think of a couple of things.
Okay, Noakes Blue's got a jibe. The Spinnaker's down. Oh, Lazarus is going to have plenty on here. Oh, Lazarus. Bit of yelly. Oh, stay
lower
with it,
drop.
boys. Stay with it. Oh,
They got it
I
done.
think they got the job done. Yep.
Just.
Noakes Blue sneaks in. Oh, no, in the background.
Tech.
Jimmy.
Vintic. Oh. Lazarus put the bow up. I think they'll be okay.
Fantastic.
Ilva coming in. No sign of Finport, unfortunately. Their day was well and truly over. With
That was a pretty
capsize.
big crash.
That was a pretty big stack.
So up we go to Rose Bay, this long beat. Plenty of wind, full pressure now. Vet Heritage and the boys on Noakes Blue. All looks pretty good.
Seal of approval, Bucko.
Yep.
Good work.
And we've got a good 16, 18 knots here, I envisage.
It might start with a 2 on occasion here, Pete. Get the number 4 jib up, will you, mate?
I'm below. The wet weather gear leaks. Jeez. So, we're on the Birkenhead.
Looks pretty nice too, James, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks good setup. Timmy and Alex and Felix are getting their stuff together finally.
Yep.
Which is good. Then we'll swing around and we'll go chase the majority of the fleet on the other side of the pigs. So interesting to note, Smeg virtually tacked straight off at that bottom mark, and the Tech 2, they punched right over to the eastern channel, so did Yandu. It looks like Smeg's opened up quite a considerable lead there, boys.
Absolutely, yeah. They went up the middle. Tech went pretty well to the left, right in towards Camp Cove. Went to the eastern side of Sound Pigs.
The other thing in the back of the screen, just to the left of the screen there, Finport's up and going, whether they're going home. So I reckon they'd be fairly bruised out of all that, let alone what damage was done to the boat.
Yeah, they're underway though, Jimmy. I think they're okay, but there's a pretty big stack, and you wouldn't be surprised if there's some minor injuries.
Okay, we're on shore and partner to the left, Noakes sailing to the right. They're about 4th or 5th.
So having a good look here, the rig of Noakes, and it looks pretty nice, James, doesn't it? They think the jib might be a little bit still too knuckly at the half height.
The half height, yeah.
Yeah, but and a little tiny bit round in the back, but Mainsel looks pretty good, and he's not having any trouble finding the groove, so twist looks okay. In a puff now.
Plenty of wind.
Yep. And I think they've been a little faster than Shore and Partners here, James, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that comes down to also a little bit more time in the boats with Sean, like how to handle it at this top end. Like this is the guys on Shore and Partners' first real test in this sort of puffy swinging around breeze in an 18. So I think they're doing pretty well.
So what we're seeing looking upwind is the southerly has really strengthened in across the course. Plenty of white caps. And we're a good 16, 17, 18 knots at times.
Yeah, so looking at that, straight up wind of it's Tech 2 and
Appears to come around to his left and
Smeg.
pick up Tech 2
So
and
we're on
winning group.
We're on at the moment Noakes, Shore and Partners, but here we are on Tech 2, just to leeward of him and ahead is the winning group, who will be clearly ahead of Tech 2. Winning group in 2nd place, Tech 2 3rd, and the clear leader is the Smeg boys. They've done a fine job up this beat. They've got a good, solid lead.
yeah,
now.
something must have gone a little bit wrong on Tech 2, Pete, because they had a reasonable lead over the winning group.
Yeah, well, they went hard left, I think, further left than most.
Yeah, but not as hard left as Smeg.
Well, not now. This halfway up the beat, Smeg went left. Early on, he went middle and right.
Yeah, Smeg tacked virtually about 5 boat lengths from the bottom mark, Bucko.
Yeah, in the current relief on the western shore.
Yeah.
Winning group looks strong, just ahead of Smeg, Tech 2. These three are going to fight it out now, I think.
Looks like a broke, just got Finport to the left of us. We won't get him on screen, but looks like a broken spinnaker pole about halfway down.
Yeah, it doesn't look too well, does it?
No.
But look at this breeze, Andrew. It's way up in Rose Bay. It's terrific now. What, 18, nearly 20 knots?
Looking to windward, it looks like 20 to me.
And Smeg revelling it at the moment. She is the race leader. She's standing off in towards Shark Island, but we're on the winning group, and Tech 2 just probably went up a gear there. She's really smoking up to winning group. Winning group had the legs on it a little bit earlier, but now at the moment Tech 2 is absolutely flying upwind.
He did find another gear there, didn't he? Wow.
So there's still a long way to go in this race.
And plenty of time for thrills and spills.
Yeah, Tech 2's overtaking winning group here. There's a fair gap then to the fourth place boats, which is a good fight out between Noakes and Shaw and Partners and Andu, the Royal Oak and Yandu. Here we are, rugged down on the camera cat. Tech 2 just getting over the winning group. Great speed, both these boats, good speed upwind. Tech 2 just had a little tickle of pace here on the winning group. Probably a bit more than the tickle at the moment.
He looks comfortable there, doesn't he? Wow. Just roaring along.
It's come from a fair way back there to roll over young John Winning, who probably won't be able to live here for too much longer.
And now, Pete, which spinnaker are we going to use for the next?
Two boats at the moment, so he's not in play, Finport. But it's Tech 2 second, winning group third, and Smeg, a clear leader. Positioned himself nicely between these two boats and the windward mark. He's got a really good lead. It could be close to 40 seconds to a minute.
That's a minute, Pete, and some.
Yeah.
So, for the viewers, it looks like Jimmy. Looks like Finport's got a broken spinnaker pole as a result of that end over end capsize and a big powerboat wash.
Yeah, Tech 2 just couldn't quite live off the hip of winning group, so he's bailed out and gone across towards Shark Island.
Well, usually the right side does pay coming up to this windward mark also, Pete, so the Shark Island side usually pays in this sort of direction. And with the tide ebb.
Interestingly today, Smeg's staying, putting a nice loose cover on Tech 2, staying between him and the mark, whereas in previous weeks the covering by the leaders has been a bit loose, to say the least, but at the moment Smeg 2's doing it very nicely. The keen eye of Sevi Jarvan, multiple JJ winner in the powerboat, looking at the settings of Smeg as they're powering into the southeastern shore of Shark Island and the famous totem pole.
Seb doing a bit of research.
And I think he'd be like what he's seeing. They've done a terrific job up this beat and they're really opened away from the fleet. Michael Coxon and Ricky Bridge and Fred Barnabas.
Pretty heavy crew and they're pretty
Good
fast
crew.
through the water. And now for the money, Pete.
Yes, there's plenty of wind for everyone here.
Yeah. The Bearaway and the two-sail reach, you're quite right. Hang on to your hats.
Okay, they're tacking now for the mark. They've got about 30 metres into the yellow mark there. They'll bear away and then the big run back down the harbour towards the starting area. Our starting area. Okay, there they go.
Having a bit of trouble? No,
they're
got
clean.
them
They're good.
down. All
They're
good.
Beautiful.
Wow.
We've got a clock running. What do? They just wait and see, I think. They just got to clear the wharf on Shark Island. The bow going up a little.
Yeah, they will have to set, Pete.
At some stage they will.
Yeah.
The right-hand side did work for Tech 2 over the...
Yeah. Yeah. The Tech 2 on the port tack lane line just a little behind, but
In they come. That's them now.
Slightly overstood.
They have, and they've certainly opened away from the winning group.
Yeah.
So the lead will be, what, just under a minute, I would say.
Shippers, I've got the clock. I'll give you an exact number. How's that?
I reckon 41 seconds.
Is that a Ronston clock?
Yeah, no.
What was
Ronston
it?
timepiece that we're after?
About between 45 and 50 seconds.
We want accuracy.
All right, we'll
But we need a Ronston watch, don't you reckon?
call it 47 then.
Okay. In the distance, Smeg still no spinnaker, Tech 2 still main and jib, and the third boat round, about 30 seconds adrift, will be the winning group. Oh, straining to get round. There they go. Okay.
So the gap there between those two boats just short of 30 seconds.
Okay.
I don't know whether Keegan bumped his head on the...
Oh, no,
when they had that praying, like he...
They've broken the
stills.
dolphin striker
Yeah.
and the pole by the look of that.
So that's Finport. Keep reminding you, they're not in the race. They have retired. They're just going around with the fleet, while in the distance, Tech 2 in a screaming gust. Smeg way in the distance, still no spinnaker.
Pete, you might be right. It might just be a two-sail reach the whole way.
Yeah.
Looking at that, wow.
And next comes the veterans, John Winning, Senior, and Sean Langman. John Winning in Yandu and Sean Langman in Noakes Sailing. They'll be next. Good job in Yandu and Noakes Sailing. Closely followed. There's Yandu. They're around the totem pole, and here comes Noakes. There they go. And right on their hammer will be the Shore and Partner boys. And then a fair group gap then to Andu and the Royal Oak 4-pipe. Another good gust here in that Shore and Partner is going to get in a moment. No spinnakers set as we look into the distance. Noakes on a screamer. Shore and Partner's in a good gust. Really fresh here. Oaks
You got a little...
have ridden the gust down, Shore and Partner, a little bit of a lull. There's another gust coming to them.
Is it a nice one coming to him?
Just talk to us about main and jib reaching. Andrew, how difficult is it?
Very.
Very.
Long and short, yeah.
And these guys are doing a good job, but we haven't seen a really hard squirt for them yet. And,
There's one coming in about 15, Bucko.
both sails in and out. Little adjustments on both sails, and then in the puff, big bow down like as now, and plenty of main sheet back on, and then plenty of main sheet back out. Peel angle very important. Otherwise, if you get tipped over at all, become very difficult.
From the distance, Yandu got let down there. He got just a slight lull, and Noakes was able to drive over the top of him.
Wow.
Now Yandu's got the puff that Shore & Partners had.
And Shore & Partners are doing a good job of this.
Yeah, they're looking pretty comfortable, aren't they?
So
But, you know, angle of heel's pretty much spot on.
But that symmetry between Jim and Sean, Jim steering and Sean on the main, is so key, critically important. And these guys obviously sail together in 49ers and so forth, so they got that part down pat.
Yeah.
And then Harry's just got to do his little bit with the last little bit with the jib.
Yep. So just in that puff lull sequence there, he got 6 armfuls of main sheet off and then back on again. And here comes a good squall actually, Jones.
Yep.
They're about to have some real action down to the mark.
Smeg's around the mark now.
in plenty of wind too.
Yeah, they've got to sail deep now, which is hard. First time we've seen them hit the water at all.
Little light spot here.
Yep, and
then back on.
It's hard work for the bowman then. Has to run in and trim the jib on simultaneously.
And that's Bradley's head in the background. Noakes have done a terrific job down here. They've really got ahead of Yandu, who's right in on the point at Bradley's. Just, they'll come into vision shortly behind Shore & Partners. Well to leeward.
Yeah, and sailing on the low edge isn't that easy either. Quite small changes in the apparent wind cause you an inordinate amount of grief. Shore & Partners had to
they're
set.
going for a spinnaker. They're the only ones to put a spinnaker up at this stage.
So
okay.
Yandu will get there without setting, I think, because they scrape right down to the headland. But the breeze just lifted off where we are, so
I think
Noakes.
Yandu are going for the spinnaker, I think. They're in,
Yeah, they
crew
are.
are in, yes.
And
Noakes going
Noakes.
too. So it's just been a bit of a lull.
The rich got richer, Pete.
Oh,
So first on the course, you got Smeg, then Tech 2, then Winning Group.
Yeah, I don't know if Noakes needed a set. They've got
no, they've got a big twist in their spinnaker, Noakes.
They've got a problem.
We can see Noakes, they still haven't got the spinnaker twist out. There,
So
that's on Winning, on John Winning on Yandu. So the battle for fourth between Noakes, Shore & Partners and Yandu, all of spinnakers set running into this leeward mark.
in a low, of all things. So Noakes twisted up shoot from the pretty untidy drop at the bottom of Obelisk, Pete. And the mark set deep into the bay here.
In the distance, it looks as though Smeg's lead's been pulled back somewhat.
Yeah,
but anyway,
by Tech 2, yeah.
yeah, anyway, we'll stick with this group who are battling for fourth in quite a lull, as Andrew said. It'll be Noakes in for around fourth. They'll squeeze in, but there's good breeze coming. Don't worry about the boys. There's Noakes round. Boat length to Shore & Partners. Yandu screaming in. And the breeze will pick up. Oh, Yandu's on a beauty there. And coming in the distance is Andu.
And the Royal Oak Four Pines not having a very good day. And they're almost high enough that they're on the VMG run ley line.
Yes.
A bit problematic, but they'll get there, but perhaps not ideal. They might have left their
A lot of breeze to the right of the course, but to the middle and left, it's dissipated somewhat. But the boats are all going out on port tack to the right-hand side. Andu round. He's clean. Now the Royal Oak Four Pines, he's next. We'll go back through the fleet as we chase the leaders. But we can tell you that I think Tech 2 has closed right up on Smeg. But we'll find out shortly as we go up to the weather mark in Double Bay once more. There's a group here of Birkenhead, Kitchen Maker and Noakes Blue. All spinnakers set.
You'll be on screen, just setting their shoot.
A bit wobbly. Okay, shooting in now. 3 strings and away we go, boys. That's the winning group. Tech 2 and Smeg. They're the 3 leaders. Smeg in front, Tech 2 and the winning group. Well, the cream's really risen to the top as we thought it would between Tech 2 and Smeg.
What's your prediction at the bottom mark, boys?
Oh. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. They're both very, very good crews. They both handled it beautifully down there the last time. Tech 2 didn't drop their spinnaker. They carried it all the way. Smeg did a fine job dropping and resetting. But Smeg's really closed this up. Remember, at the reaching mark at Shark Island, they're about 40 seconds adrift, but they're a lot closer now.
Yeah, they're about 1 good puff away on the downwind leg.
Tech 2 tacking. Plenty of pressure coming out of Double Bay. Smeg goes as well.
Also,
pretty nice covering tack from Smeg. Both boats on port. Go up, I think, to the starboard tack ley line. And winning group a fair way back now in 3rd place.
Still a good result for Herman.
Good puffs coming, so they're going to round in a reasonable amount of pressure, not super pressure. Smeg will tack in about 3, 2, 1. There he goes. There's the mark in the background. Not much pressure here. He'll set straight away, you would think.
wow,
Tech 2 tacking now. So
in plenty.
Going to be about a 15-second delta here. Smeg around. Away he goes. Tech 2, no, it'll be less than 15, probably about 10 seconds.
I'd say 11, Peter.
Okay, thank you. Smeg around. Set the shoot. Tech 2 in a good one. They're setting the shoot, and then a long gap to winning group. There'll be another all good minute behind there. They're just tacked on the starboard tack ley line, but we're on the leading group. Smeg and Tech 2. So it's a race in 2, you'd think.
They're not super windy. The camera cat will just keep up.
Again, the long run to Obelisk. They'll be bow up for a little while, but there'll be good pressure out of Rose Bay, you would think, like there was last time. Tech 2 really throwing it down to Smeg now. Nothing really in this. His downwind speed has been quite spectacular this year, Tech 2. Here he comes.
Yeah, Pete, they give plenty of credit for that to the Bowman Lewis brake for being able to move the thing in and out to an unprecedented degree, was the way it was described to me. Wow, look at him.
What better than the Admiral could do in the old days? No?
Probably, possibly.
Oh, look at them, full noise, both of them.
Yep.
Fully wicked up. Oh, this is terrific racing. We've seen some wonderful racing. This is as good as it gets. Really doesn't need any commentary.
And it does appear that Tech 2 spinnaker just slightly more stable than the Smeg, the sail on the Smeg. A little bit easier to trim. Lewis able to roll the luff, so able to have slightly wider choice of apparent wind angle. Wider or narrower. More choice, should I say. So they've gained a couple of boat lengths. Smeg responding in some degree here. 2 red boats. Amazing.
So Andrew, you say difference in spinnakers,
Yep.
both from the same sail loft, North Sails. Why would they be different? Is each boat requesting something different, or that the sailmaker decides that? Or
No,
talk us through that.
To my eye, the 2 sails are off the same mould, the same design mould. Just subtle is about the entry radius, how tight the luff tape is, how the dimension of the luff fits into the space between the tip of the pole, how much sag it's got, and also the tension on the little line inside the luff. A lot of things to make, and you can see, Pete,
They're very different. Yeah,
they're quite different entry radius.
it's right at the head, especially the top third.
Yeah. Quite a bit of difference. Neither sail fantastic for the head twist, I don't think.
But to the layman, it looks that the red spinnaker on Tech 2 looks a lot rounder at the head, the top third of the sail.
Well, I think the major difference is that the entry radius is greater at the 1/3 height, and that's what makes it easier to trim.
There's nothing in it.
Also a lot newer spinnaker on Tech 2 as well, Bucko, which would help the situation.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Holy mackerel, what a run.
There's good breeze coming again to Rose Bay. This is fantastic.
Yep. And the other thing the Tech 2 boys do is they move 4.5 more than everybody else as well.
Yeah, they're really working that rail, aren't they?
Yep. They're just about to put the kiss of death on the Smeg here.
They're nearly over him.
This is an unbelievable fight.
World-class yachting for the viewers.
So they're quite high on the lay line here, so there'll be a couple of jibes and in probably, but he's over him, I think, now.
Oh, no, he just collapsed.
Oh.
Well done, Lewis. Held that.
Yep. Well, they're still fighting for height, Pete, so Smeg looks like they're going to struggle a little bit here. But now all the advantage goes to Tech 2. And he's got, I think he'll go to the mark without jibing, Pete.
Yes, he's got the bow down now.
Yep.
But as thrilling as the America's Cup has been, how thrilling is this? Both with spinnakers, fighting hard like this, fighting on the edge of control. I mean, one mistake and it's all over. Yes, he's got the bow down now. He's in front, Tech 2.
Now VMG running, Pete. Fantastic. Absolutely world class.
But it's not over.
No, it's
not over by a long way. Still got a long beat to go. Probably another run and then a beat. So don't underestimate Michael Coxon. He's been there, done it before. The speed looked good upwind. So way in the distance is the third boat. Way in the distance. I'd say he's a good 4 or 5 minutes winning group in third place. But meanwhile, all focus. Will they lay down at the moment? No, they won't.
They've just got lifted, Pete. The breeze gone back to the right. So
what are the tactics?
2 jives. No, in nearly the lay line and a jive drop is the right answer here. Sea state a little flatter than usual. Tide going out. No swell bending around the corner, which is usually a big problem. Still pretty bumpy though, Pete.
Good breeze coming.
Yep.
You won't see any better than this. Oh, early jibe on the Smeg. Here we go.
Yeah. So here goes Tech 2.
Not quite yet. Here they go.
Oh, that's not the right answer, men.
No,
Don't know. A little error from Tech 2.
Yes. Tech 2, a bit sloppy. What have they done? Crew came in, the spinnaker went off, but meanwhile we're on the Smeg. They come in on port. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
I think they decided to jibe drop.
Yeah, there's really plenty of breeze here.
But Smeg's going to put themselves under all sorts of pressure with a one-man kamikaze version.
Oh, Tech 2's under pressure. Talking about pressure.
Yep.
Will they respond? Yes, they do.
Wow. Don't try that at home, kids.
No, that was... Whoa. Okay, Smeg 2. Can he pull away and get down to leeward and through? Almost. almost. Trent's got to get out the bow. Yes, Tech 2's through the lee. Okay, it's a race in two. Smeg's got clear air there.
Yeah. It's a race to get the bowman back on the wire.
Yeah, Trent just ran out first.
And Trent won that by 1 second.
Sorry for the sound effects, but Captain Jimmy is winning us this crew. It's not part of the deal.
So, Pete, this will be interesting. Tech 2 would have learnt from the previous beat. They've got the possibility of tacking. Smeg probably can't tack.
Well, they've just got to keep them in the box, don't they? That's all they've got to do, just make their life uncomfortable the whole way around.
So panning to the right, we see the winning groups on a screamer, third place. They'll be a couple of minutes back. They've got a bit of work to do, and then a big gap to fourth. It looks between Yandu, Shaw and Partners, and Noakes. I think Noakes have got their nose in front of that group to be fourth. They've got a lot of wind on George's Head, but we're on the winning group watching them go round the leeward mark here at Obelisk. They've got one and two.
They've got a bit on here, Pete. They're overshot.
There's the mark just in the background now. Ooh.
No, he's gone too far.
This could be a little bit ugly. No, drop, jibe, the jibe, and then drop.
And then they've got to.
Then they've got to put the bow up a bit here. Okay, Spinnaker's down. Got one more jibe to come in. There's the mark.
A bit of a Clancy at the overlay.
Plenty of wind. Can he get away? There he goes. Still a bit
he
to do.
He might. That's granny, Pete.
Still a bit to do.
Yeah, he's going to
granny.
And that's not a stupid thing to do.
No,
at all.
He's clearly third.
Yep.
He's still got to get away.
Yep.
A bear away and a round up to come.
And that's not that easy. Bumpy
get the boat up to speed a little bit and then bear away.
Yeah, get the foils working properly. Nugs has done a good job down there, Pete.
Yes, they have. They're clearly fourth. Shaw and Partners fifth. Yandu sixth. There's fully wicked up on the Noakes.
More than.
Sean's knees are holding up.
Yeah. Sean was saying before the race that he likes to come into this mark on the port approach.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it once yet. So.
No.
We'll stick with this group here because there's still a bit of action behind Noakes. Shaw and Partner with a red spinnaker, Yandu white spinnaker.
So Peter, pretty good conservative drop from the Noakes group there.
Shaw and Partners.
And Shaw and Partners with a hammer down and going to leave it a bit late by the look of that. Nothing better than having it away and having everybody go into the rack when you do the dial up, and then you can get sheeted on really properly. And look at that.
All crew out on the wire on the Noakes.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow.
Yandu a nice early drop.
And Shaw and Partners at the mark with 1/8 of the spinnaker still not down.
And there's still a man in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noakes.
Not 1/10, 1/8.
Oh, Royal Oaks is going to have a bit on too here.
A few waves to get through. Just got to find that flat spot.
He found it, but not quite good enough.
That's right.
Oh, you can see that coming a little way off. Unfortunately, they were in the mix. Andu going round. So that's
Pete, that jibe had shades of a bit of mental tiredness to it. You know, just turned the boat a bit too quick and a bit too far. And you wouldn't blame them. They've been on the boat for
a long while. So we've still got a lot of this race to go.
Been racing for 50 minutes so far.
Shaw and Partners fifth, Yandu sixth. They stand away on starboard. Breeze up again as the breeze coming out of Watson's Bay, Nielsen Park area. And as we look upwind, a big split again. Smeg have gone hard left, almost right into Lang Point, Camp Cove, while Tech 2 have gone up the middle track.
Well, Tech 2 just sort of hiding from the current on the sandbank in the middle, Pete.
This is the winning group we're on.
Chits, can we get the shot of the jib for him?
Just go around behind it. Oh, yes, can you just go a bit wider on winning group and just get the whole boat?
Yep. Nice. Well, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, Was this their new one, the little one, or was it the big one that they got new?
No, the big one.
I think the big was the new rig.
Yeah,
I
was
could
gonna
be
say,
wrong, but
this
I think
looks
it's the
pretty
big.
good.
They're looking pretty comfortable. Mainsail looks nice. Not too sure about the jib though. Oh well.
Just the lighthouse in the background is Tech 2, who I think is our leader.
I was going to say, it looks as if Tech 2's made a pretty big gain against Smeg.
An interesting comment here that the first beat, Smeg made huge gains by going up to the middle, then left. This time, he's done the opposite. He's gone left hard, and Tech 2's done what Smeg did the first time, more or less. I don't know. I think Smeg's, well, it's going to be close. Smeg's right up on the Nielsen Park shore somewhat. We'll see him in a moment. There's Botman Glass. There's Smeg. Tech 2 right out in the middle stream. They're right out getting the breeze out of Rose Bay. Smeg's got to get up in the lee somewhat of Nielsen Park and Steel Point. Still got plenty of pressure, but can be pretty squirrely in there, getting puffs over the top of Nielsen Park. And
Look how far left it is right now though, Pete.
Absolutely, that's favouring him.
Yeah.
No, I still like Smeg, I think. Still got to get through that squirrely beat at Steel Point. He's throwing a bit of sheet at it at the moment. There's another genius in a powerboat to windward of him. He's probably far enough away not to affect him. He's going to come into a soft spot in about 20 metres. Quite a soft spot. Just approaching it now. You can see bent legs. It's very soft, but it's left. Oh, that's a real big left-hander. Oh, he's clear ahead here at the moment, even if he drops a bit off this puff. No, he's done the right thing.
Well, Tech 2's on starboard now.
Wow.
Not in shot, but...
No, but Smeg's clear ahead.
Yeah.
Trying to get them both in shot here for you.
Done a great job again, Smeg. He picked that very, very well. He's just got the Nielsen Park blinker to navigate around.
And a little bit of no wind for a while.
Yeah, he's in the no wind. And he's at the moment.
That's Tech
he's
2
clear
just
ahead.
flashed behind. There they are on screen.
So there we go. There's the lead to Smeg. It's about
Not still quite into true breeze. That's the problem.
30 seconds, I'd say. Yeah, there's a big right-handed puff coming down.
Anyway, just got into the breeze, Smeg.
Yeah.
So will he go back and cover? Well, I would think he probably will. Some used car dealer in a big powerboat just to windward of him. He's got no idea, not even looking at the boats. Okay, a good breeze in Rose Bay. Fully extended now, the boys on the Smeg.
Trevor Barnabas is out here obviously watching Treno, and he just went over, he's given them a
what's for?
Yeah, just letting them know, hey, have a look this way.
Big bit of puff coming, Pete.
Oh, terrific breeze now. This is 20 plus.
Better put the reef in, brother.
No. 3 strings.
And just a bit more twist.
Bend your backs.
Bend your backs.
You'll be right.
Wow, solid.
Best breeze we've had all day here.
Yep.
And Tech 2 well back now. Smeg's done a terrific job. He rolled the dice somewhat up that beat. He went hard left, let Tech 2 get out in the middle, and it's paid huge dividends.
Like, it wasn't too early in the race for Tech 2 to be covering down there from Obelisk. Like, you know, you can put these guys in the hurt locker for the whole work here, and then you just got to stay in front of them on the run and then cover them again for the beat to the finish.
Easier said than done, Jimmy.
It is, but I know Baz would be barking like there's no tomorrow if he was on the Tech 2 camp. But I know he works closely with the Smeg boys, been doing a bit of work with them.
Oh, look at this punter in this yacht.
They're all right.
Oh.
Take the flag, boys.
Trent was waving at him.
Those punters, that's Pierce's parents.
Jimmy, watch out, he's not far off tacking, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Tech 2. He's about 200 metres downwind of Shark Island in plenty of wind. He's the leader.
Smeg.
Smeg. The red hull of Smeg. Michael Coxon, former JJ Giltman champion.
All three of them.
All three. One Ricky Bridge on Smeg when Lee Napton was the skipper. Trent has won it. Was Trent with Coco when they won the JJ? I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
With Aaron Lynx, wasn't it? No. Was it with Lynxie or?
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah. Anyway, in the distance is Tech 2. Smeg's a clear leader going into the middle of Rose Bay.
And wind speed here now where we are, just to Wimbledon Smeg.
Like a wind tunnel through here, isn't it?
22 knots, yep.
Oh, coming into view as a used car dealer. I hope he can see Smeg. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Oh, at least he's going behind him. Okay, Smeg's on starboard. Tech 2's gone further out to the right. Okay, should be getting ready, I would think, on Smeg. Just a few little waves to encounter the small speedboat. Hasn't done any real damage.
Not too far off the low line, do you
No,
think?
you wouldn't think so. Good breeze, terrific breeze between Smeg and the rounding mark. I'd be saying
Yep.
very soon.
Time
Coco's-
to tack,
He's
boys.
having a look at it. 3,
Yep.
2, 1.5,
No,
1, go.
he's overstood somewhat, I think. But that's okay.
No, that's pretty nice, I think.
There's a gap back to Tech 2, just there on screen.
He's still within shooting distance, that's for sure.
Yep.
This race is far from over. Good breeze in Rose Bay as they approach the mark at Shark Island. He's underlaid. I don't think he's on a low line here.
Do you want to, guys, do you want to stay with Smeg, or we'll wait for Tech 2 and see what the delta is closing up?
No, they got to beat up to the finish.
Look, if we stay with like not taking anything away from Ricky and Coco, but watch the guys on Tech 2 and just see how they do it, 2 sail reaching, and whether they can close the gap, and then we can pick up Smeg once they're around the bottom moat.
He will lay, I think. He's got some big powerboat wash to negotiate. It's more on his side than straight on. He'll lay, so that's a terrific lay line. He's on his way.
Nice easy lay.
2 legs to go. Main and jib reach at the moment, and then a beat to the finish.
Oh, and he's having trouble getting the bow down.
Oh, he's on a screamer. This
Got
powerboat.
problems with this powerboat again with the wash.
Look at the wash. It's
Oh,
Gonna sink us. Fuck.
there he goes. Smeg is on his way. Oh, this is a really good lead now.
Yeah, that's probably nearly a minute, Pete.
Both long beats from Obelisk. He's put on a massive time on Tech 2 as Smeg. Going up, there's soft pressure. Will he set? That's the question. Will he set? The Spinnaker. They're looking at the breeze. The crew looking round. Yes, no. Ooh, he's in a
little bullet
soft
just
spot.
about to hit him here, and couple.
Yeah, pretty untidy, but anyway, it's quite surprising how it's lifted off here, Pete, isn't it?
Yes, it has. It's quite quite soft, but there's still plenty of
Going
breeze
for
ahead
the
of
set.
them.
Going for the shoot. Oh, this
Is
interesting stuff.
Tech 2's around.
And Tech 2's got deep out of the mark, Pete. If you
Yep.
look over your shoulder,
game on.
game is on. This shoot won't be up for very long, I would suggest. Wow, tough work, eh? Gives Tech 2 the sniff of an opportunity here.
On a screamer behind them, main and jib reaching. This race is not over.
If Tech 2 can main and jib reach 2/3 of the way to Bradley's Head, they've got a clear opportunity to get past Smeg here. But they've run out of wind.
They've run out of wind too, Smeg too. They're nearly into windward. Looking back, they'll have to set too. There's a bit of a hole there, the lee under Point Piper, although they're a long way off Point Piper. There is a lee there. I think they're going to set as well. Tech 2, they've gone very high. So game
Smeg's
on again.
going to knock it off.
Yeah, there's a really good puff coming out of Double Bay.
A smasher, and
So they'll be spared down, and then
Smeg's had to drop.
3 strings and main and jib reaching.
Tech 2 still main and jib behind us.
Okay. Tech 2 are high, and there's a good puff coming to Smeg, which will get them round Bradley's Head, and then who knows what happens after that.
Well, they probably need to set it with this sort of condition.
Third place is still not around the mark at the moment. Can't even see them.
Oh, they've really opened up.
So Smeg
Tech
only
2.
just finished tidying up the shoot just then.
Tech 2 in a bit of a lull there. Crew into windward, get a bit of a bath. They're looking around.
Plenty coming for them, Pete.
Smeg is off.
Manly Ferry going to cause Smeg a bit of trouble too, I think.
Yep. Tech 2 up to windward. Oh, this race is back on here, big time. Not that it ever really went away, but certainly Smeg opened up on that last windward beat. But you'll see in the distance.
There's the gap.
There's Smeg. There's Tech 2. Tech 2 flying. Smeg really hasn't got the pressure. They're just getting it now. They'll get around the stern of the Ferry.
They've just got to watch the lull and obviously the wash from the Ferry there.
Now Tech 2 looking for a bit of pressure, but there's a screamer coming out of Double Bay that Tech 2 are going to get to first.
Right.
Oh, Smeg are in a bit of trouble there with the Ferry.
No.
Oh, it's all on.
Yep.
Smeg have run into a bit of a soft spot
No,
behind the
bad
Ferry.
dirty here.
Oh, Smeg's almost into windward in the lee of the Ferry. This hands it to Tech 2 now. Oh, what a disappointment for Smeg.
Tech 2's still got to go through a bit of that, but probably not as much.
Oh, they just hit the lee of the Ferry. Smeg still game on. Smeg's got the pressure now. Tech 2 run out of it a little.
Tech 2 would be not unwise just to try and sail as deep as they can here.
Line them up.
There's Smeg now. Oh, Smeg hasn't got much pressure. Tech 2 going for the shoot, I think. Crew in.
Yep.
Are they? No.
I think
They're
they're
looking.
smelling the diesel, mate. And
Yeah, they're smelling the Ferry. There's plenty of wind coming. Looking. There's the puff. Oh, bow down.
problem is, all it's doing is just jettisoning them
Yeah,
forward.
there they go.
back into
Spinning
it.
it.
They're going for
They're
it.
both boats hoisting shoots.
Smeg have got to shoot. Oh,
Pretty good stuff from both crews there. Nothing easy about any of that.
they're going to be neck and neck here at the leeward mark. Just remember, this is the last turning mark. They got the final beat into the finish. These two boats fighting it out for race 8 of the Australian Championships. If it stays, doesn't matter which way, who wins or who gets second. These two boats will fight it out next week for the Australian Championship. It is that tight at the top of the scoreboard. Smeg in the white chute. Tech 2 with the red chute. Oh! Hit a bit of a lull. Tech 2 now is safe. Smeg screaming down to leeward. I think Smeg will lead at the leeward mark. They got a beauty. Smeg have got a ripper.
Yep, Tech 2 almost going to have to jibe.
They're going to have to jibe. They're above the lay
No,
line.
they're going to VNG run it, but they'll be right.
Okay, if Smeg drop, crew got to work overtime on Smeg to get this down. They will lead. Smeg will lead.
If they get the drop done.
They'll get it down. Come on, boys. Oh,
no!
the bows.
Come
Oh,
on.
Spinnaker's gone over the side on Smeg, has it?
Tech
looks-
2, Tech 2's
Tech-
just
Bit
got
of
to do this.
Something's happened with Smeg Spinnaker. They
No,
can't get it down.
They got the shoot over the leeward side.
Oh, dear, dear,
Oh,
dear.
Tech 2, dial up, done.
Oh,
Wow.
done. Tech 2, they've done. Good job. Spinnaker's untidy on the Smeg.
So
dear, dear, dear.
Oh, Smeg still in a bit of trouble.
All sorts of trouble.
the one-man drop, Pete, is
Yes.
high tariff manoeuvre sometimes.
Well, we saw even the best can struggle there, and they did.
Yep.
And that, you would say, has probably handed the race to Tech 2.
Yep.
It was all on there. They had their chance, Smeg, to
Pretty-
get round in front.
Pretty good game of snakes and ladders though, Pete, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Spinnaker's still not down.
No.
Treno's buried under that somewhere.
I've got a knot in the hattie that's called.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. Anyway,
Wow.
all part of the deal, unfortunately.
Yep.
Smeg have suffered badly as Tech 2 now clearly ahead. Well to windward. Just this beat to the finish up in Double Bay.
Anyway, Pete, I mean, we're close enough to hear them. There was no yelling at all. They just
No,
they
cool.
just did what they had to do. But you could see the exasperation on Trent's face from the camera boat. So it's one of those things.
And here you go, Smeg's just throwing something at him just to see if they can. Tech 2 responding though in the back of shot.
Yep. They've certainly put the question to the rest of the fleet, though, haven't they?
They have. They are way, way in the distance. Winning group in third place.
Winning group's
Yep.
third, and they've done a pretty good job, you know, with Joel Turner on the main sheet.
Very good job.
Respectable job with a fill-in first time on the boat sheet hand. And
Tech 2, all he's really got to do is stay between Smeg and the finish, and he's got this race won.
subject to, Peter, subject to.
Subject to what?
Well, something might break.
Oh,
Who knows?
oh well.
You know,
Subject to that thing we don't talk about until you cross the finish line.
that's right.
So fourth on course is Noakes sailing, Sean Langman.
Oh,
Fifth is Yandu.
they're just watching Noakes set the shoot. They've been there or thereabouts all race, as has Yandu. The two veterans.
Have a look at old Woody trying to pull it off and go around the back of the keelboat. Wow. All good.
Next on course is Andu and then Shaw and Partners. So it appears to come around to his right. We'll watch this battle for first and second when you can.
Still plenty of wind. Tech 2 doing it nicely. You know, considering they were 10th at the first mark, although saying that they weren't that far off the lead, but a thrilling run both times from Tech 2 has really put them in great position, although Smeg had the speed upwind. Just that one little mistake at the leeward mark the last time in Athol Bight, where the spinnaker didn't come down cleanly, has handed the advantage to Tech 2.
It's not hard on the forward ends. Like, you imagine the tension of trying to hold onto that spinnaker for the whole
Yeah,
run and then you've got to try and stash it in the bag. Like obviously the one down at Obelisk is your worst one, but this is still no easy feat. The bowman or the forward end has to pull the spinnaker up to the top of the mast, then got to hang on to it, trim it, and then got to pull the thing down and try and get it in the bag cleanly. It's a pretty hard job on the forward hands at that point. Not that I'm sticking up for forward hands, Bucko.
No, the sheet and union rules.
Yep.
so we've seen another great race. These two boats, Tech 2 and Smeg, I'll say it again, they're just that level above the rest, and they've proved that today in a really long, hard course in a really strong, gusty southerly that's reached 20 knots at times. Been hard work. Tech 2 at the moment will lead them in.
And not to mention the three general recalls, but
Exactly. So it's been a long day on the water.
Yeah. Smeg's just decided that second place will have to do.
Doesn't that bring him back to equal?
No, Tech 2's one more point in front.
Ah, one more, two more.
Yep.
So with a drop, if it stays as you'd think it will, with Tech 2 winning, going into the final race next week, Tech 2 will be with a drop on 11 points and Smeg will be on 13. So 2 points the difference. And this will be the 5th win out of 8 races for Tech 2, the defending champion. Got a fine effort by Jack McCartney, Charlie Wyatt and Lewis Brake. So really, next week it's all up to Smeg 2. They really can't be beaten for first or second place. Noakes will be a very distant third on points. So Tech 2 will take this heat, the 8th heat, 1 to go next week. And they are in the box seat to retain their championship. This has been a terrific win, another terrific race between these two boats. Right in doubt to the last mark, just laying into the finish now. He's on the lay line, finishing boat in the background. Here he comes, 3, 2, 1. There's the hooter. Tech 2 first. And he now gets a stranglehold on this Australian title. Smeg in the distance coming in, he'll be 30 to 40 seconds adrift.
So Pete, that's some of the best downwind sailing we've seen for some time. Amazing stuff.
It was incredible. Both boats
at 20 plus
Smeg
knots,
and
separated by a couple of boat lengths for about 1.5 miles. Not bad at all.
In total control. Here's Smeg now.
So it's about 45 seconds, Pete.
Okay, and then a long way back to the third place, which we think is the winning group.
Yeah, the winning group's just behind us, over towards Bradley's head to the left.
Yeah.
We'll drop down and go pick him up.
And a pretty fair effort from the Smeg boys, Michael Coxon, Ricky Bridge and Trent Barnabas, but just one more error that they didn't need, and an error under considerable pressure, one might say.
Yeah, but very uncharacteristic for Trent, you know, like...
Well, it's just a high tariff manoeuvre. The one man spinning a drop where they fire off the tack line and the halyards simultaneously. There are some things that can go wrong.
We're on the winning group in third place.
I think
did anyone besides myself go for them as third?
No.
Andrew, I can't hear you. Did you? Microphone gone. Not working.
The pre-start was so long ago now I've forgotten, Peter.
Okay.
Mine's coming in fourth. Does that count?
Well, Johnny Winning Jr. just laying into the finish in third spot. Not that far back, but still a little bit of work to do. He won't be too disappointed with a third. I think he realises he's just got to take that next step up. It's just over the lay line to the finish. You're just easing sheet now, easing main, screaming away in third.
You can tell that they're sort of happy. They're all having a bit of a chat about something and a bit of a laugh, so I think it's a pretty good effort.
Hey, boys. That'll be third, and a race for fourth between Noakes and Yandu. Splitting coming upwind. Yandu going right, Noakes going left.
But Chippers, you would recall that I sort of had a little bit of money on Finport, who were travelling quite nicely until certain events down the first run.
That's a bit like if your auntie had them, should be your uncle, or the other way round or something, Andrew. I mean, you've got to get to the finishing line.
Really?
Okay, here's Yandu. She'll be 5th. I think Noakes will clearly ahead of her in 4th. And Noakes will be 3rd on the point score. Well, there's not going to be much in it. Yandu and a nice right-hander here.
Yeah, Noakes is going to get
Noakes
there.
will get there, I think.
Yeah. Not by too much, but by enough.
No, he'll go up to the bow of Yandu and tack, I would think. There he goes. He goes in 4th spot. Right on Yandu, right in his cockpit. Those boys will sleep well tonight, like most of the crews.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been on the water for
A long while.
coming up to 2.5 hours.
There's the Yandu 5th. And Shaw and Partners will be next, I think, and then Andu. So it's all down to next week, the final heat between Smeg and Tech 2. Tech 2 just holding a slight points advantage. No room for error. But either of those two boats will take out the title and be this year's Australian champion. Shaw and Partners is going in the final tack, the final approach to the mark. So we hope you've enjoyed it. It'd be hard not to enjoy that race today. It was another terrific race. The race sponsor was Rag and Famish, who's unfortunately their boat didn't start today. They had gear failure. Say hello to everyone that was watching, especially the Sandringham sailor. Another short shout out to him. Been a great supporter of this live stream. And there's Shaw and Partners across. Another solid performance from them in 6th place. And Andu will be across in 7th. And then a bit of a gap then to the next group of boats. So next Sunday we'll be back for the final heat. I'm sure you've enjoyed today's racing. We have enjoyed bringing it to you, and we thank you to our camera guys, Chits and the boys working at the back of the bus for us, bringing the pictures to you. To our Master and Commander, James Bury, on the stick, driving us around, Andrew Buckland for his insightful comments. And just repeating, Tech 2 first, Smeg 2nd, Winning Group 3rd, Noakes 4th, Yandu 5th, Shaw and Partners 6th, and Andu 7th in the 8th heat of the Australian titles. Well, this live stream is being brought to you by Sail Media. So from a quite windy and rather brisk Sydney Harbour, this is Peter Shipway saying a very good afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday.